So my name is Emmanuel Brunet-Jailly. I'm a professor at the University of Victoria in British Columbia in Canada. I'm a Monnet Chair, which means I study European policies. And most of my research is on borders, border security and migration. So being at IMéRA has given me time to write, to read. I read maybe 40 books this year. It's like taking your comprehensive examination again for the younger colleagues. You have time to read and write. But it's also, in a way, a very interdisciplinary environment where every week you discover other research areas in other areas of research that are far and wide from what you do, and so you have new ideas almost every week. Sometimes it's very useful, directly and functionally related to what you do. Sometimes it's not. But it's always fruitful because there is a confrontation of ideas. And being at one of France's institutes for advanced study in that regard is very beneficial. There is a cultural gap that you have to bridge. You have to work and you have to meet a lot of Francophone researchers who have different views on research across many different areas. In my own domain, I discovered, for instance, that France has wide networks of researchers in the area of migration. I knew the ones in border studies, but in the area of migration, I also realized that French were very much involved and very well connected with the rest of the Mediterranean countries, and interestingly, actually, not so well connected with the rest of Europe. It's quite interesting to see how these things are. So IMéRA, in that regard, gave me a lot of time to think, to read, and to write, and to meet with colleagues from all over the world. So to be a fellow at IMéRA has meant to me that I was able to bridge the North American kind of research that I do on border and security, on border and migration, on culture, history of borders, with the kind of research that my colleagues are doing here in this region of the world. And IMéRA in that way is a very interesting bridge because it's well connected through fellows, but also through the Aix-Marseille Université, with scholars in many different southern countries of Europe. So especially, I would say, countries that are south of the Mediterranean region, Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, obviously, but also other countries such as Egypt, Lebanon, Israel, Turkey, and then some of the European countries as well. And so it's been wonderful in that sense, is that you discover a new network of researchers, and then you discover also how they do their own research, what ideas influence their hypotheses, their research methodologies, the way they work with students. And it's very rich, it's very interesting.